Well, Brian, right outside the United Center, right now there's a press conference going on that's turned into a sit-in with the 30 uncommitted delegates who are not committing to Kamala Harris over the U.S. role in the Israel-Hamas war. I'm trying to watch my tone because they're still talking at the moment. They say not only have they formed a ceasefire strategy that they're pushing for, which calls for an immediate ceasefire and an end to aiding Israel's fight against Hamas, but also that they have some 300 delegates who have supported that strategy. And the breaking point tonight that led to this press conference was that they've been pushing for a Palestinian to take the stage on the DNC. Now, an uncommitted delegate from Michigan has been leading this press conference, but now it's different speakers going on. We're going to just take a quick listen in.
The tragedy of what's happening in Gaza has been mentioned time and time again on that stage, from elected officials, from other speakers, from the hostages' family themselves. They mentioned the need for a ceasefire to de-escalate tensions in the area and in order to bring their loved ones home. Why is it acceptable that everybody can speak on behalf of Palestine and on behalf of Gaza, but not a Palestinian, not somebody who has lived it, not somebody who's impacted?
So you hear they're talking about the decision to not include a Palestinian in the DNC. And just inside that circle, if you take a look, there are four or five of the uncommitted delegates that are sitting down. I haven't had a chance to directly interview them. They just finished kind of their public remarks, but everyone you see in these scarves, these are the uncommitted delegates who are protesting the U.S. role in the Israel-Hamas war. And we're going to stay on top of this and bring you an update after the DNC wraps up tonight on Night Team over on ABC 57. For now, reporting live, Tim Spears, back to you. Well, Brian, just to give you an idea, right there is the exit of the United Center, and the first thing people are seeing as they come out are these signs: arms embargo now and not another bomb. These are among the 30 uncommitted delegates that started this press conference that's now turned into a bit of a sit-in. And here, if you follow me, we're going to try to give you a look at it. It's still going on, and it's actually grown since it first started a little more than an hour ago. Now, the thing to note is that, again, these are members of the Democratic Party. And even the leader of this, who started off the press conference, made it clear he still plans to vote for Kamala Harris come November. But that hasn't stopped him from saying that right now, in their opinion, the U.S. is complicit in what they see as a genocide. And this all started out because even though that we've seen speakers call for a ceasefire this week, it started out when the DNC wouldn't allow a Palestinian to take the stage.
I think back to when I was a child in South Lebanon. I was 15 years old, and I had to come to terms with what I thought was going to be certain. I thought that 100% I would be killed using bombs that my own government sent over there, because our government's policy is to kill people like me.
The delegate, Abbas Alawieh, then sat down on the concrete, joined by other uncommitted delegates across from the DNC. The group claims nearly 300 total delegates support the ceasefire strategy that they have delivered to the Harris-Walz campaign. Well, we've heard this week's speakers, including President Biden, call for a ceasefire. Before Minnesota Governor Tim Walz took the stage tonight, a delegate from his state essentially said those calls mean nothing while the U.S. continues to deliver weapons to Israel.
Our governor is about to say folksy things as the vice presidential candidate, calling people weird. And they are. They're weird for what they believe in, these horrible Republican things. That's weird. But you know what? It's weird to say ceasefire and keep sending the fire. That's weird, Walz!
Since the October 7th attack, the Palestinian death toll has surpassed 40,000. Live from the DNC, Tim Spears, back to you.
This is ABC 57 News.
Vice President Harris, if you want to empower us to animate people to vote, please help us.
The Uncommitted delegate movement at the Democratic National Convention staging a peaceful sit-in outside the United Center, and ABC 57 News was there live as it got started last night. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brian. Connie Bear. Jennifer Copeland is off this evening. While the Democratic Party celebrates inside, the protests keep rolling outside as Vice President Kamala Harris gets set to make her formal acceptance speech in just a few hours tonight. ABC 57's Tim Spears has been right in the middle of those demonstrations all week long for us, with some pushing for a Palestinian-American speaker to take the stage inside the convention hall tonight. Tim?
Yeah, this demonstration is the first thing you see when you walk outside the United Center, and many of these delegates have been here now upwards of 20 hours, some sleeping on the concrete overnight. And when you walk up, you can see with the chalk exactly what their core demands are. Ceasefire now, not another bomb, and finally, we want a Palestinian. Now that point is what caused the demonstration as they call for a Palestinian speaker on the DNC stage. Now they have the support of the UAW and multiple members of Congress.
1, 2, 3, free Palestine! 1, 2, 3, free Palestine! 1, 2, 3, free Palestine!
Congresswoman Cori Bush of Missouri joined the Uncommitted delegation this afternoon, comparing today's Uncommitted movement to the Black Lives Matter movement following the death of George Floyd. In the same way that galvanized voters, Congresswoman Bush said this moment could sway key battleground states.
We have to look at how do we make it clear that the Harris-Walz campaign will have this. We do that by listening to the people when the majority of voters say they want a ceasefire. The majority of voters in this country want to see that happen. When Palestinian Americans are saying, hey, just let us have a voice. Let us have a voice before the people. It's a simple ask. But the thing is, it's a simple ask, but the effects of rejecting that ask will be tremendous.
And UAW leaders have joined the call to have a Palestinian speaker tonight, saying if Democrats want to win in November, a Palestinian American must be heard. But as of this moment, it's still not looking like it will happen. But we still have not received an official speakers list from the campaign quite yet. This morning, the Harris-Walz communication director said this situation does not mean they are taking the Uncommitted movement's votes for granted. Live outside the United Center, Tim Spears, back to you.